Welcome to another English lesson, and I'm happy to meet you with another interesting lesson. Hello Dushanti, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Nirmala. Hello, children. How are you? I hope you are keeping fine and safe.
Right, Dushanti, what is the lesson that you are going to teach today?
I have planned a listening lesson with many activities for the children.
Right, can you tell me why listening activities are important? Because I know our children don't pay much attention to listening activities.
How did you learn your mother tongue? When you were very small, you listened to your parents, adults, siblings, and imitated. But how? By listening to them. Therefore, listening is very important even in learning a language. It's the most important basic skill for a person even to learn to speak.
Right. Why don't we move on to the activity now?
Okay, Nirmala, before I move on to my actual activity, I have a problem or really a question for you.
All right.
Nirmala, do you receive telephone calls often?
Of course, I do.
Just imagine there's a call for you, but you are not at home at the moment you receive the call. What happens in an occasion like that?
Of course, then somebody else would answer the call and they would convey the message later to me.
Right. That's what we all do, children. You know, yesterday I called one of my friends, but unfortunately, she was not there at home at the moment I called her. She has gone out for some errands.
Okay, then what happened?
Do you like to see what happened there? Nirmala, do you like to see?
Of course, we are eagerly waiting.
Right. Children, listen to this conversation or this dialogue and see what happened to me yesterday. Okay? Right. But you have to know one thing. You have to focus your attention very well in listening to the conversation because I am going to ask you a few simple questions from you at the end. Nirmala, you too.
Of course, children, let us get ready then.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Can I speak to Nalini, please?
I'm afraid she's not in at the moment. May I know who's calling?
I am Dushanti, one of her friends.
Oh, I'm her mother. Do you have any message for her?
Yes, of course. Could you please tell her that I need to borrow the storybook Oliver Twist?
Okay, I'll pass the message.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Nirmala, can you remember the name of my friend?
Yes, she's Nalini.
Very good. Right. Then, who received phone call?
Nalini's mother.
Well done. My last question. Can you remember the book that I wanted to borrow from her?
Of course, that is Oliver Twist.
Well done. Wow. You are a great listener, Nirmala.
Thank you.
You have to pay your attention properly in order to get the correct information, as Nirmala did. All right? Yes, that is the importance of listening.
Shall we move on to another activity then?
Of course. Here we are. Children, can you see the activity on the screen? Now, you can take out your reading books or pupil texts and turn to Unit 11, Activity 8. It is on the page 118. Do you get it? Right. The same activity is there on the screen. So, here you have to listen to the telephone conversation and fill in the message for. Right, a message for.
I don't think we have message forms at home.
Yes, we don't. But you know, Nirmala, there are message forms in the offices mostly. Therefore, children will try to do this activity in order to fill in the message form. Now you are going to listen to a conversation between Mrs. Silva and the secretary. So, what are the information you have to focus on? Or what are the information that you have to listen for? The caller, for whom is the message, and the message that the caller delivered, then the contact number, right? Once again, caller, for whom, message, and the contact number, right? Having that in mind, you listen to this, but we move on to the listening text. Or before you listen to the conversation, I would like to tell you one thing. I know, children, you all do many listening activities in the classroom, but I hope it's better to remind the procedure of doing the listening activity, right? So, Nirmala, can you explain them how to do a listening activity?
All right, children. First of all, you have to go through the reading task. So here you have a message form. You have to read it very carefully and know what information you have to find. You have to do the activity after listening to your teacher.
A telephone conversation between Mrs. Silva and the secretary. Hello, good morning. May I speak to Mr. Gurusingha, please? I tried to call him yesterday, but I couldn't get through. Why was that?
Yesterday was a holiday, madam. Could you hold on for a minute? I'll put you through to Mr. Gurusingha.
Oh, yes. I forgot that it was a holiday yesterday. Thanks.
Sorry, madam. Mr. Gurusingha is at a meeting right now. Would you like to leave a message?
Yes, please. Can you tell Mr. Gurusingha to return my call? My phone number is 01325674332.
Sure, I'll tell him. He'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let us listen again.
A telephone conversation between Mrs. Silva and the secretary. Hello, good morning. May I speak to Mr. Gurusingha, please? I tried to call him yesterday, but I couldn't get through. Why was that?
Yesterday was a holiday, madam. Could you hold on for a minute? I'll put you through to Mr. Gurusingha.
Oh, yes. I forgot that it was a holiday yesterday. Thanks.
Sorry, madam. Mr. Gurusingha is at a meeting right now. Would you like to leave a message?
Yes, please. Can you tell Mr. Gurusingha to return my call? My phone number is 01325674332.
Sure, I'll tell him. He'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let us check the answers. Caller.
Mrs. Silva.
For whom is the call?
Mr. Gurusingha.
The message.
Mrs. Silva called and told to return the call.
Contact number.
01325674332. 7432.
All right. I hope, children, you have got the answers correctly.
Right. Why don't we move on to another activity?
Yes, children. Now I am moving to an extension activity connected with the previous conversation. I hope that you remember the conversation. Using that, you can write a small paragraph. Look at the question now. Write a small paragraph about what happened in the telephone conversation. Following may help you. So, children, there are some guidelines. There are some questions for you to remember what happened in the telephone conversation. Right. Who wanted to call Mr. Gurusingha?
Mrs. Silva,
Who answered the phone?
his secretary.
Right. Where was Mr. Gurusingha at that moment?
He was at a meeting.
What did Mrs. Silva tell his secretary?
To tell Mr. Gurusingha to return the call.
All right, children. You have the information that you need to write a small paragraph, to build up a small paragraph. So, now I am going to show you a model paragraph that we have prepared. Look at it. Mrs. Silva wanted to call Mr. Gurusingha. His secretary answered the phone because Mr. Gurusingha was at a meeting at that moment. So, Mrs. Silva told the secretary to tell or ask Mr. Gurusingha to return the call. Here, children, can you see? I have used two words, to tell or to ask. That is because if you are talking to somebody in the same level as you are, you can use the word tell. But if you are talking to a person who is above you or who is superior to you, you have to use the word ask. Okay, that is our paragraph. I hope you have got it.
Right. Now let us move on to another activity.
Yes, this is my next activity. Listen to the conversation and fill in the grid. Earlier, you listened to a conversation and filled in a message form. But here, you are going to listen to a conversation or a dialogue and you are going to fill in a grid. And here, I tell you that this particular dialogue takes place at a railway station. It's between a passenger and a booking clerk. Right. So, what are the information that you have to find here by listening to that particular conversation or the dialogue? Right. Here we go. You have to find caller, reason for calling, destination, day of traveling, platform number, seat number, and departure. Are you ready to listen to the dialogue, children? I hope so.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Is this the railway station?
Yes, how can I help you?
I want to reserve a seat on the train.
Okay, may I know your name, please?
I am Sandeepa Disanayaka.
Okay, what's your destination, sir?
I need to go to Kandy.
Sure. The first train to Kandy leaves at 7:30 a.m. Do you want to reserve a seat on that, sir?
Yes, That would be fine.
For when do you want to make the reservation?
I hope to travel next Monday.
All right. Your seat number is 12A. Your train will leave platform number 5 at 7:30 a.m.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Let us listen again.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Is this the railway station?
Yes, how can I help you?
I want to reserve a seat on the train.
Okay, may I know your name, please?
I am Sandeepa Disanayaka.
Okay, what's your destination, sir?
I need to go to Kandy.
Sure. The first train to Kandy leaves at 7:30 a.m. Do you want to reserve a seat on that, sir?
Yes, that would be fine.
For when do you want to make the reservation?
I hope to travel next Monday.
All right. Your seat number is 12A. Your train will leave platform number 5 at 7:30 a.m.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, children. I hope you got the answers. Right. The caller.
Sandeepa Disanayaka.
Reason for calling.
To reserve a seat.
Destination.
Kandy.
Day of traveling.
Monday.
Platform number.
Number 5.
Seat number.
12A.
Departure.
7:30 a.m. Right, Dushanti? Why don't we move on to another activity?
Okay, Nirmala. Let's see. Here, children, I have another activity. It's something connected with cooking. You can see there's a recipe. And at the same time, I must tell you, this is also taken from your book, Pupils Text, Unit 8, Activity 7, on page 86, right? Okay, so here is a recipe for preparing Kurakan Pittu. And you are going to listen to an interview between a chef and a presenter of a radio program, right? While listening to the interview, you are going to fill in the missing information.
Right. Now this word chef, I think you all know, children. Chef is a professional cook working in a restaurant or a hotel.
Yes, so then you have to find the ingredients for preparing Kurakan Pittu. You have to find 3 ingredients, right?
The ingredients are what you use in your cooking, the things you need to prepare a dish.
Okay, children, let's move on to the method. Here, there are blanks or the missing parts in the method. That means how to make Kurakan Pittu. So, you will have to find the words for the missing parts by listening to the interview between the chef and the interviewer at the radio program. Are you ready now? You are going to listen to an interview with a master chef. Listen to the interview carefully and fill in the blanks in the recipe. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another exciting program of Master Chef. As usual, we have our Master Chef, Channa David, with us today. Good morning, Mr. David.
Good morning.
So, Mr. David, what do you have in store for us today?
Yes, Niluka. As you said, that there had been many requests from our listeners for Sri Lankan recipes. I thought of telling them how to prepare Kurakan Pittu.
Sounds interesting. To begin with, what are the ingredients for the dish?
We need Kurakan flour, water and salt only.
Can you repeat it, please?
Kurakan flour, water and salt. That's all.
Okay, now, how do you prepare it?
Let us listen again.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another exciting program of Master Chef. As usual, we have our Master Chef, Channa David, with us today. Good morning, Mr. David.
Good morning.
So, Mr. David, what do you have in store for us today?
Yes, Niluka. As you said, that there had been many requests from our listeners for Sri Lankan recipes. I thought of telling them how to prepare kura kampitu.
Sounds interesting. To begin with, what are the ingredients for the dish?
We need kurakam flour, water, and salt only.
Can you repeat it, please?
Kurakam flour, water, and salt. That's all.
Okay, now, how do you prepare it?
Now let us discuss the answers.
Okay, children, the answers. There are 3 ingredients.
Kurakan flour, water, salt.
All right. The method of preparing kurakan pittu. Put the flour in a bowl.
Sprinkle a little bit of water and salt and start mixing the flour.
Add water as you mix the flour.
Move the hand in a circular movement.
Continue this for a few minutes.
Afterwards, pour some water into another clay pot and tie a clean cloth covering the mouth.
Put the pittu dough on top of the cloth.
Then cover the dough with another pot.
Now put the pot on fire.
Pittu will be ready within half an hour. Alright, Dushanti. Now we will move on to our last activity.
Here, children, I have prepared a different type of an activity, a listening activity for you at the end. Because now so far you have filled in a message form, you have filled in a grid, and you have completed the missing parts of a recipe. Everything was done by you by listening to conversations, interviews, dialogues, right? Here, I have changed that pattern a bit. Now you are going to listen to a passage, and by listening to the passage, you are going to answer the following question. There are some WH questions. Therefore, I think, children, you have to pay a little bit more attention to the text.
Now you can see the questions here, children.
Who was Kalpunia's husband?
What did Kalpunia plead him?
What had the senators conspired?
How did Casca stab Caesar?
On which day Caesar died? Right, children, you are going to find the answers for these questions by listening to the text. Listen very carefully, attentively, focus, because this is a passage. All right, are you ready, children? Kalpunia dreamt that her husband Julius Caesar, the great general of Rome, was slain. So she pleaded him not to go out of doors. He saw her troubled mind and determined to stay. But Decius, his confidant, persuaded him and took Caesar by the hand to the Senate. That was because all the senators, including himself, had conspired to kill him. Caesar went up to the Senate house. While he was discussing the problems of the people, one of the senators, named Casca, took the initiative. Casca stabbed Caesar in the neck. He was then stabbed by the other conspirators. Great Caesar fought back, but when Caesar saw his best friend Brutus raising his hand, Caesar said, "You also, Brutus?" Then Caesar fell and died. He did not want to fight. The day Caesar died is known as the Ides of March, occurring on the 15th March. I will read it once again, children. Calpurnia dreamt that her husband Julius Caesar, the great general of Rome, was slain. So he pleaded him not to go out of doors. He saw her troubled mind and determined to stay. But Decius, his confidant, persuaded him and took Caesar by the hand to the Senate. That was because all the senators, including himself, had conspired to kill him. Caesar went up to the Senate house. While he was discussing the problems of the people, one of the senators named Casca took the initiative. Casca stabbed Caesar in the neck. He was then stabbed by the other conspirators. Great Caesar fought back. But when Caesar saw his best friend Brutus raising his hand, Caesar said, "You also, Brutus?" Then Caesar fell and died. He did not want to fight. The day Caesar died is known as the Ides of March, occurring on the 15th March. Okay, I hope you have got the answers by now. Let us check the answers. Who was Calpurnia's husband?
Julius Caesar.
What did Calpurnia plead him?
Not to go out of doors.
What had the senators conspired?
To kill him.
How did Casca stab Caesar?
In the neck.
On which day did Caesar die?
On 15th March.
Very well. You might have understood by now how important it is to listen to something very carefully, attentively, in order to get the correct message. If you don't listen carefully, attentively, without paying much attention to this, you will not be able to get the exact message. Children, so far you have been listening and taking down notes from these oral presentations. That's what our lesson was, taking down notes from oral presentations. So you did it very well, and you understood how important listening is in our daily life. We need to listen to a conversation carefully in order to get the correct message.
All right, children. Now we have come to the end of our lesson, and I hope now you realize the importance of listening activities. Hope to see you once again with another interesting lesson. Have a pleasant day, children.
Goodbye. Keep safe.